Hello, so this week in our discussion board, week 1, module 1, our prompt is, why is accurate record keeping so important in the field of social work? Give specific examples to support your answer. So, in the past, scant notes were kept in early social work. As years passed and the profession grew, along with the need for the assistance of a social worker from the members of society, so did the need for documentation. In our text on page 8, we are told a survey conducted in 1979 and 1980 revealed that educational supervision was no longer the primary function of social work records. They were being used increasingly for purposes such as ensuring continuity of care, evaluating effectiveness of service delivery, and enabling professionals involved in the same case to communicate with one another. Also on page 8, we are told that documentation is essential to the effectiveness of social workers and the well-being of their clients. So in our documentation, that documentation can be used at any point in court. If it is subpoenaed by the court, it can go before the judge. It can be used in situations such as elder abuse, child abuse, disability claims. It can be used for any of those things. And if our documentation is not on par, if it's not right where it needs to be, then that can affect the lives of the client. It can affect the whether they're eligible for services, for their disability. It can affect their safety, when it comes to whether or not, the abuse for elder or child is substantiated or not. The documentation as far as for the continuity of care, if that client is transferred over to another caseworker or another clinician, if they happen to come through a crisis services somewhere and their information is pulled up in the electronic database, if the case manager has not documented appropriately and has not documented everything that has happened in a way that another social worker can sit down and look at it and see, where we began, what plans have been laid out, what has been accomplished, what baseline is, what it looks like when whenever the client is in a crisis, services that are already in place for the client, so that they can see if something else needs to be added to those services in a crisis situation to help stabilize that out. We need to be sure that documentation reads so that if another social worker picks up that chart or looks it up electronically, however it is that your institution will do it, whenever that other social worker steps in and looks at that documentation, they should be able to see a very well written note so that they can see, basically step by step, so that they can see exactly what needs to happen next, what happened in the visit before, and where you're supposed to be now and what that next step was supposed to be. So continuity of care, legal issues, and just maintaining well-written, well-documented notes in order to facilitate anything and everything that the client needs is why the accurate record keeping is so important in social work. Thank you.